Hi everyone, and welcome to the Josh Ezekiel podcast. Today we're diving into something really personal, a message from one of our listeners who's bravely shared their struggles. It's raw, it's real, and it reflects an experience that so many of us go through but rarely talk about. Their quiet suffering, fear, the shame, the confusion, and even that sense of helplessness when you're reaching out but not sure anyone's really listening. I want to unpack this today, not just the message itself, but what it represents. Why so many of us hold back from sharing our struggles, how stigma and systems can make it harder, and what we can do, both individually and as a society, to create a culture where asking for help doesn't feel like a risk. By the end of the episode, my hope is that you'll walk away with a deeper understanding of what it really means to open up about mental health and some tangible ways to make that process just a little bit easier, whether it's for yourself or someone you care about. So let's get into it. Here's what they've shared. So lately, I have been finding life very difficult. I have no energy and I have lost complete interest in everything that I used to enjoy. I do not like being social, and for the majority of the days of the month, I just want to stay in bed alone, even though I struggle to sleep and I'm barely getting a few hours sleep, sometimes less. My appetite is all over the place. Some days I'll hardly eat, while other days I'll overeat, but the hardest part is that I just can't bring myself to ask for help. I have no idea how to explain what's wrong or even admit that something is. And on top of that, I keep noticing shadows in the corner of my vision or moving across things, and it's really unsettling for me. I hate this feeling. Help me out. So firstly, thank you for sharing. There's a lot going on here. Now, these feelings that they've described are feelings of exhaustion. We're disengaged from activities that you used to enjoy. And it sounds like that there's a sense of social withdrawal. They've mentioned struggling with sleep, that eating patterns are fluctuating between extremes, and there's a very unsettling experience of seeing shadows. Yet there's also an inability to ask for help. Now, a sentiment that resonates with so many who have also felt trapped, maybe in your own minds, but you're unable to put words to what you're going through. If you've ever felt like this, or you know someone who might be, I want you to know that you're not alone. And this episode is going to explore these feelings. I want to help you try and understand they might be happening, but most importantly, just help you to outline steps towards healing and just realigning yourself into a sense of clarity and vision. When you're struggling with your mental health, it can sometimes feel like you're just stuck, stationary, completely disconnected from the world, yourself, and even the possibility of anything improving. Now, this disconnection can make the smallest of tasks feel overwhelming. And often, people in this state feel unable to reach out. One of the biggest challenges is the belief that your feelings aren't bad enough to ask for help, or that others won't understand, which I believe is as kind of a symptom of being in this very isolated place. Now, this isolation can become a cycle. So the more you withdraw, the harder it can become to re-engage, and the longer that struggle will continue for. Now, what's particularly difficult is that mental health challenges don't always present themselves in ways that we expect them to. Sometimes they come with physical symptoms like extreme fatigue, changes in sleep, changes in appetite, and even perceptual distortions like seeing shadows or having imaginary friends or movement in the corners of your vision. Now, these are real, valid experiences, and they signal that something within you, within your core, within your soul, just needs a little touch of TLC and care. Now, often we feel that we need to be ready. And I say ready, that's like an internal ready to make a change. But the truth is that that perfect moment rarely comes. Healing starts with acknowledging that you're struggling and allowing yourself to sit with that reality without any judgment. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be able to take that first step, which can be tiny. But as long as you can work towards a tiny step, you're doing the right thing. Whether that's admitting to yourself that things are not okay, or just recognizing that you deserve the support that you need and that you want. If asking for help does seem impossible, again, start small. When I say that you have to share with people, you don't have to share everything all at once that's going on in your head, especially when you're in a position of kind of dark brain state, if that makes sense. Sometimes just a simple, I'm not feeling great, to a friend or a family member or someone you're very close to can be enough to open a door. But if speaking feels too overwhelming, you can write things down. This can help to clarify your thoughts and to make it easier to communicate your feelings when you're ready. But you have to remember that you're not a burden. Now, the people who love you want to know when you are struggling and when they can help you. When you're in a low place, it's easy to stop taking care of yourself, which only deepens the struggle. So basic self-care, like staying hydrated, eating regularly, and moving your body may seem insignificant, but these small changes can create the foundation for bigger changes. There are studies out there that have shown that even mild physical activity, such as a short walk or stretching, can significantly improve mood and energy levels. And if movement feels like too much, then start with gentle activities, like sitting outside for some fresh air, or listening to some calm music, or just any music of your choice. Your lack of sleep affects everything: our emotions, our ability to think clearly, and our overall sense of well-being. If you're only getting 5-6 hours of sleep a night, it's 100% understandable that your energy is going to be low. So try setting up a nightmare routine that can signal to your body that it's time to rest, to dim the lights, avoid screens before bed, avoid phones before bed, and to create a relaxing pre-sleep ritual, like reading or deep breathing if you're not into reading. And even if sleep doesn't come easily at first, it's been consistent. Getting to bed within them same couple of hours each night will slowly start to put your body into this routine. Both depression and anxiety can make it very hard to enjoy things, but even small moments of pleasure can remind you of who you are beyond the struggles. So think about activities that once made you happy, even if they don't seem appealing right now. So by starting small, you can do big steps. If music used to bring you joy, just try listening to one song a day. If you love drawing, pick up a pencil and doodle for 5 minutes. Pick up a tablet, pick up a pen, sewing, cross-stitching. So it's not about forcing happiness, it's about gently reintroducing yourself to the things that make life feel meaningful. Seeing shadows or perceiving movement in your vision that isn't there can feel very unsettling, but it's important to recognize that stress, exhaustion, and heightened anxiety can affect perception. When your brain's under stress, they can sometimes misinterpret sensory information, which can lead to fleeting visual disturbances. And these experiences are valid and should be acknowledged with care rather than fear. Now, prioritizing rest, reducing stresses, and speaking with a mental health professional can help to clarify what's happening and also to offer reassurance. Sometimes the best things that we can do for ourselves is reach out to a professional or a GP who can help us untangle these thoughts and untangle these feelings that feel overwhelming. Now, therapy provides a safe, judgment-free space to explore your experiences and to develop strategies for moving forward. But if traditional therapy feels daunting, there are alternative approaches out there like art therapy, movement-based therapy, or even guided meditation sessions like group sessions that can offer different ways to process these emotions. Now, for the listener who has shared this story, just know that you are seen, you're not alone, and I want you to take this moment to acknowledge how strong you are for expressing what you're going through, even if it feels messy or incomplete. Now, healing isn't about getting rid of the pain overnight. It's basically impossible, but it's about finding these small baby steps and these small ways to reconnect with yourself and the world around you. For anyone listening who relates to this struggle, I encourage you to take one small step today, whether it's drinking a glass of water, sending a text to a friend, or simply just acknowledging that you deserve care. And that's the end of the episode, guys. So thanks for joining me on the episode of the Josh Ezekiel podcast. If this has resonated with you, please do consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember that even in the darkest moments, you are not alone and healing is always possible. So until next time, take care of yourself and live life and love yourself.